I mean, we already knew this. You know what I'm saying? All the signs showed it, everything. And for the people who talking about she doing it just for clout or she ran out of money, Cassie never has to run out of money. Her husband's rich. She's good. You know what I'm saying? She don't say nothing. She don't bother nobody. She stay by herself making her money for real, for real. She too cute to be bothered by some stuff. But maybe I believe she signed an NDA and now that the 10 years is up, you know what I'm saying, she could finally speak out something. But we knew that already. Literally. It was just a matter of time before that shit came out. We knew that. Surviving Diddy, mark my words. He gonna be the next R. Kelly. I swear. Like, Netflix, run a deal. Let's do this. Like, I want to see. Show me.
So by now we already know that Cassie sued Diddy for $30 million. She's accusing him of a variety of things, which includes rape. Apparently, the other thing is not to be said. Physical abuse, all sort of things that are horrendous. And when I first heard about it, I was like, what the heck is going on? But I wanted to wait it out to get more information. And then the next day, the court documents were released. Now, I was listening to someone read the court documents, and I was so shocked. When I say I was so shocked, I was so triggered. I had to log off. I was like, what is this? What is this? Because it was too graphic. The fact that the documents even had trigger warning was just something else. Then while I was trying to understand what's going on and understand what exactly happened, we heard that she had settled within 24 hours of the court case being filed. And I was like, what? Anyway, people had a lot to say about everything. And in this video, we would check out people's reaction. Then I would talk about the whole issue and analyze it from my own point of view. So let's check out what people had to say about the court documents, the things that Cassies listed and said that Diddy did.
I'm not a lawyer, but I just read all 35 pages of the lawsuit filed by Cassandra Ventura, aka Cassie, versus Sean Combs, aka Diddy. And child, let me give you the recap. Let me start off by saying the front page of this lawsuit has a trigger warning on it. So listen, let me say to you, this video could be triggering. You've been warned. Okay, so the beginning of the lawsuit just gives some background. It talks about how the two met in late 2005, early 2006. Cassie was 19 and Diddy was 37. Shortly after, Cassie was signed to Bad Boy. And at the time, Cassie was actually in a relationship with someone else and Diddy was in a relationship with Kim Porter. But then on Cassie's 21st birthday, Diddy allegedly pulled her into the bathroom and forcibly kissed her. Cassie cried, and that was their very first physical encounter. Over time, Diddy continued to pursue her, according to this lawsuit. And then in September of 2007, Diddy allegedly picked Cassie up from her apartment and gave her a pill. The suit says that Cassie didn't know what the pill was, but she took it at his request. She later learned that that pill was ecstasy, allegedly. Then there's a story told from 2007 when Diddy allegedly paid a promoter to create a fake flyer for a party Cassie was hosting, but not really because it was fake. And it was done to give her a reason to go to Miami and get away from her boyfriend. During that trip, it's alleged that they did a ton of drugs, and that is when they had their very first encounter. By 2008, Diddy had allegedly introduced Cassie to opiates and would often have pills and other drugs out in the open like candy. Quote, upon information and belief, Mr. Combs has been addicted to prescription painkillers and took ecstasy frequently. The suit also alleges that Cassie's medical records were being sent directly to Diddy's email address. For instance, the suit says when Cassie was experiencing some memory loss, potentially due to excessive drug use and or head injuries caused by Diddy's alleged beatings, her MRI results were provided directly to Diddy. Somebody call HIPAA. By this point in the relationship, according to the doc, the dynamic between the two had been established and continued to be reinforced. There's the 20-year age gap between the two, Diddy's high-profile position as a music mogul in the industry, and then he's the CEO of the label that Cassie is signed to. He's also, according to this document, aggressive and demanding, requiring blind loyalty from anybody he works with, and he constantly flaunted large amounts of cash, which was quite intimidating for Cassie.
As someone that has a criminology degree that had to study court cases in school, I've never seen a court document with a trigger warning. That's how bad these allegations are. I have to say allegations because, again, legal. And mind you, I only know about the ones that are on Love B. Scott that was featured on the website. There's so much more details. It's a lot. And thank God for Kid Cudi confirming it, because God only knows what people will be saying. Like, granted, there are people that's trying to discredit her, but it would have been far more worse if he had not confirmed what happened with his car.
Now, if you ain't know, today Diddy got filed a good federal lawsuit from Cassie. Cassie said for years, Diddy was over here putting his hands on her and not saying her. I will say in the little article I read, Cassie said she wanted $30 million or else she was going to put this book out. Diddy lawyers said, that's blackmail. We not giving you $30 million. And then boom, I see this on my notifications from CNN today. Now, I'm not picking sides. I've learned my lesson. I'm going to let the facts come out. I hope this isn't true, but when I go to the comment section, people saying this been happening for years. I don't know. This is they issue, and I really hope he ain't do all this. But I will say this. I know dudes crash out over women all the time. We have all seen Cassie. We all know how long they was together, Diddy and her. I believe this. Us dudes crash out over women all the time. You've seen it. Spray painting cars, breaking windows, blowing up the phone. When you got a little bit more money, I guess you try to blow dudes' cars up.
For the people who are saying that they don't believe Cassie and why is she now bringing this to court, you guys are literally what's wrong with the world. I just cannot stand Twitter sometimes because the men on there honestly make me lose brain cells. Let's even play into what you guys are saying, and Cassie decided to, I don't know, sue Diddy years ago. Do you honestly think that Cassie would have won that lawsuit or gotten, the side of the public? Honestly, even the year of 2023, look at what happened with Megan Thee Stallion. Men and women completely against her. This man shot her in the foot, yet she is being made out to be a liar, saying that she's dramatic and that she's taking down black men. Like, you guys are literally mental. She has more of a fighting chance now than she would have years ago. And I 100% believe her. I have been hearing shady shit about Diddy for years. But the real shocking thing to me is the amount of women that are siding with Diddy on this situation. The men, what did I expect? Men being a piece of shit in situations like these, I should have expected nothing more, honestly. But the women, y'all gross me out every time. Y'all did it with Tory Lanez, where the fuck his name is. Y'all did it with Chris Brown. It's just gross.
So I am not a lawyer and I know next to nothing of law or law cases or law rules or whatever, any which way. But when I first heard about the court case that she filed, I was like, why did she file for only $30 million? She's not supposed to file for it to go to jail or something like that. But then I learned that there's the civil suit and there's the criminal suit. So she filed a civil suit that was going to get her paid $30 million. So some people were like, oh, she's all there for the money, she's broke and everything. Then I found some videos that explain the whole situation. So I found some videos that explain why she filed for a civil suit where she would get paid and not a criminal suit. So let's check it out together. Then I'll come back with my commentary.
I just don't understand why Cassie would wait until now to come out and tell her story. Yeah, it's giving opportunist. It's giving she's broke. It's giving she's trying to tear a black man down. You sound crazy. That's what it's giving. You sound insane and you sound like an enabler. But let's talk about why she would come out now and file her lawsuit. If Cassie wanted justice on what she'd been through, she had a deadline, and the deadline was November the 24th, 2023. And that's because the New York Adult Survivors Act closes its window for people to be able to file a lawsuit against the perpetrators of their abuse. And I'm going to read exactly what it says here on this page. So it reads, the New York Adult Survivors Act temporarily eliminates the civil statute of limitations for survivors of sexual assault who were over 18 when it occurred. And I want everyone to hold on to the word civil because I'm going to speak about this later. This gives you the right to file a lawsuit against the perpetrator or others who facilitated the assault, regardless of how long ago it occurred. However, you must act quickly because this window closes on November the 24th, 2023. She filed this on the 16th, so she didn't have much time left. Now it continues to say, if you have been sexually assaulted during adulthood, you deserve to be compensated for the physical harm, emotional trauma, and financial losses brought on by the abuse. As you can see here, someone who has endured the type of abuse that she has stated in her lawsuit deserves to be compensated for it. I know so many people are caught up and hung up on the whole civil suit side of things, but in order to file a criminal suit, she would need to be able to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt. And majority of the time when people have experienced domestic violence or SA and the type of things that she's put in her claim, there's very little evidence anyway. But then, and on top of it, the fact that there is so many coercive control aspects to this case that have been put in the lawsuit, and as many of us already are aware of, who she's filed the lawsuit against has a lot of money and a lot of power and a lot of people who are yes men and yes women. It would be very hard for her to be able to fight that battle, and she may not win that. However, by filing this civil suit, not only is she able to get it in before the deadline, so she's at least filed something, but the state can decide if they want to press some criminal charges on top of it. So it is the best option for her.
Yeah, you're correct. I stumbled across this. There was a law in New York that was passed, the Adult Survivors Act, that allows people to sue that were victims of SA after the statute of limitations is expired, and that 1 year window is ending next week. So that would definitely be a reason why Cassie would file. But I do just want to say, even besides this, like I was saying in my last video, I mean, it's terrifying to come forward. This person has a ton of power and can ruin her life in a lot of ways. So yes, this kind of explains the timing, but I just want to reiterate for all the people that are out there like, oh, why is she doing it now? Even though this is, the case with this law, I mean, sometimes it takes a long time for these women to come forward because it's terrifying. It's terrifying to do. It could ruin her career, it could ruin her life. She doesn't benefit from doing this at all, except trying to find some sense of justice and some sense of peace, and maybe helping other victims out there as well. But listen, like, yes, this does make sense, but we need to keep what I just said at the forefront too. Like, let's stop blaming these people that come forward, these women that come forward, and accusing them of things just because it takes a long time to come forward, because it takes courage and bravery to do so.
Diddy is not going to jail, not yet. At least not for these crimes that he is alleged to have committed against Cassie. I don't know if he's going to go to jail in the future for something unrelated, right? In this particular lawsuit, the lawsuit that Cassie has filed, this is a civil lawsuit. And in this instance, what that means is that there's no jail time attached, right? But there is money involved. So if she does win that lawsuit, she should expect to get some sum of money, right? I believe she's suing him now, requesting something to the tune of $30 million, right? Why is Cassie able to file the lawsuit now, right? Some people are asking, why did she wait so long? I don't know. I can't really speculate on that, right? But what we do know is that there is a new law, I believe it's called the New York Survivors Act, something of that nature, right? That allows adults to file claims on crimes that happen to them, even when the statute of limitations already passed, right? So, for example, in a case like this, I don't know what the statute of limitations is in this particular state where Cassie filed that lawsuit. And we don't know when exactly some of the things she's alleging to have happened in this relationship happened. But if a lot of this stuff happened in the beginning, 2005, 2006, even up through 2009, 2010, right? Certainly the statute of limitations for those offenses has expired. And if they had not expired, Cassie probably would have gone to the criminal court prosecutors and tried to prosecute Diddy for some of these things, but she didn't do that, right? So that leads us to believe that the statute of limitations for criminal cases, for jail times in this particular case, has expired. And so she's gone the civil right, trying to recoup money for, the harm that she has said that she suffered at the hands of Diddy.
So I've seen a lot of people ask this question, and I want to answer it. The reason that Diddy is not going to be sued criminally is that the Adult Survivors Act, the act that Cassie and her attorneys actually cited in her original complaint, is what allowed her to sue him. That act, which was enacted by the New York governor in 2022 allows individuals for a limited time basis to sue individuals they wouldn't otherwise be able to sue civilly. It allows them to sue civilly for crimes where the statute of limitations has passed. The crimes that Cassie alleged, the statute of limitations has likely passed in New York for all of those crimes. What that means is the time period that an individual can sue someone has already expired. That's why there's not going to be any criminal charges. And the act, the Adult Survivors Act that I mentioned, only allows individuals to sue for that limited time period in a civil court. That's why the lawsuit that Cassie filed was a civil lawsuit where she was requesting monetary damages. I hope this helps.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. And from what they're saying, if that Adult Survivor or Survivor or whatever, yes, Adult Survivors Act was not implemented by the New York governor at this time, she might not have been able to even get any money because the statute of limitation has expired for the things that he has done. So I think maybe it's like 10 years or something. So if you don't file for a criminal suit or something within that 10 years of the assault or whatever, the allegation that she has laid on Diddy, you or anybody, you cannot get that person to go to jail. But because of this Survivors Act, she was able to file the suit, and it's, I think what they said that it was enacted or it was initiated November 2022, and it's going to expire November 24th of 2023. So she had a short period of time. So I now get it. I now get why she filed for a civil suit and not a criminal suit. Anyway, within 24 hours of her filing the court case, Diddy settled, and everybody's like, what is going on? The lawyer had said, oh, something about she trying to use it as a blackmail, and they denied the allegation. And within 24 hours, that everybody has seen everything that you've done. And some people are like, that's just a bit of what he did. And now you're settling. And people had a lot to say about it. Let's check that out, and then I'll come back with my commentary.
That was a whirlwind 24 hours. What we thought might be the trial of the century has ended in a settlement. Really Cassie has settled her lawsuit with Diddy, according to the New York Times. Just one day after Cassie filed that lawsuit that detailed some very graphic and violent allegations against Diddy, both of them have announced that they have agreed to resolve the case. In Cassie's statement, she says, I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support. Diddy says, we have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. The terms of the settlement were not disclosed. Earlier, it was reported that Diddy had offered $8 million for Cassie to not file the lawsuit. There were other reports saying that Cassie wanted as much as $30 million to settle the lawsuit. We will likely never see the terms of that lawsuit. I'm sure some very strict NDAs have been signed as a part of it.
I'm not a lawyer, but Cassie and Diddy have reached a settlement. Let's talk about it. I don't have any documents I can screenshot. I'm only referencing reporting by the New York Times, which says that one day after Cassie filed the explosive lawsuit against Diddy, the two have reached an agreement to resolve the lawsuit. And to no one's surprise, no details about the terms of the settlement have been revealed, and probably never will. Let's get into some of the statements from their reps. Quote, I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. She then says, I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support. And then Diddy's statement reads, we have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love. So that was a whirlwind 24 hours, but it looks like the two have reached some sort of understanding.
So Cassie and Diddy settled the lawsuit. It hasn't even been 48 hours. Like, the ink on the lawsuit paper hasn't even dried yet. So fast. And Mr. Brotherly Love already settled for an undisclosed amount.
Yo, Cassie settling this lawsuit against Diddy within 24 hours, she got receipts.
True.
She got receipts on that
Probably
man.
has.
I don't know what it is.
It was just
I don't know
fast.
what it is, but she got receipts on that man. Okay, listen, you gotta think about some things. He already offered her an eight-figure payout before she filed the lawsuit. So that's at least $10 million.
Okay.
When she filed the lawsuit, she's asking for $30 million. So you got to think about some things. Let's just assume he offered her $10 million. Okay. She was like, no, I want 30. If he settled within 24 hours,
I think
he got real close to that 30 million. I honestly think she got her 30 million. I think he was just like, you know, pay her. She got something on him. Okay.
I'm not a lawyer, but Cassie and Diddy have reached a settlement.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm so disappointed. I really am. I'm not gonna lie. I'm disappointed. I really, really wanted her to be able to fight this and get his ass. And I feel like this is such a letdown. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in you, Cassie. I'm not gonna lie. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Okay? Did you at least get the 30 million? I'm just... Ugh.
Cassie, you gonna settle in one business day, babes? You could have just called Diddy on the phone and asked for the money. Like, you could have just called him up. You should have just called him and asked, cause there's no way. And no shade, ain't no shade. But what the fuck? What? You could have called him. You could have shot him a text. You. Life does not. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Well, that was quick. Diddy and Cassie have settled their lawsuit. So it was just Thursday that Cassie filed her lawsuit accusing Diddy of years of physical and mental abuse and a bunch of other damning things, which led to many other people and other stories to resurface. So according to the New York Post, they said that both sides, quote, resolved the claims to their mutual satisfaction on Friday night, one day after the bombshell lawsuit was filed in Manhattan federal court, according to Cassie's legal team. But one of the most important things that Cassie mentioned throughout this 35-page lawsuit was how controlling Diddy was. So she says this in her statement. She says, I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support. Diddy said this in his own statement. We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. The terms of the settlement were not revealed. However, the damage to Diddy's reputation is already done and has Cassie open Pandora's box, because now a lot of people are coming forward with their own stories, and old interviews where people were highlighting Diddy's abuses are coming forward. Do you think that they will be next to get their payday?
Okay, so we've seen that people had mixed reaction to the settlement. Me, personally, for me, when I saw the news that she had settled, I was like, so fast? I was like, how did Diddy settle so fast? And why did she accept it so fast? And I was like, I don't know. At first, honestly, like someone mentioned, I was kind of disappointed because I wanted her to go all the way. Let us hear all the dirty things about Diddy. Let everything come out to the open. Let him even end up like R. Kelly. But I just realized that after learning about the civil suit, criminal suit, and everything, and I also realized that she probably doesn't want to go to trial and then have Diddy's lawyer be saying all sort about her, and then probably having to say more things, having to bring her proof, and having all her business online. So she just felt, let her just take the money, let her settle that. I strongly believe that Diddy paid her that 30 million. In fact, I'm sure she got more than that 30 million, because the damage to his reputation in the past 48 hours has been too much. I've heard people say that some people in the industry have started blacklisting him. Everybody's trying to detach themselves from him. And because some videos of people that were talking years ago have started popping up, people know, and and also because they've seen some things, they strongly believe Cassie. Like, I've seen videos of, is it Young Jock or something, talking about when he made Cassie shave her head. I've seen 50 Cent clowning him and saying it was not that the guy is somehow. I've seen someone say Jaguar Wright talk about the fact that he's funny. I've seen videos of Obriode also talking about how he's kind of terrible. So with all these things, everybody's just like, he did it, and so people are trying to save their reputation, so they are moving away from him. That's why it kind of settled out fast. Anyhow, I don't know if I trust Diddy, because that man is funny. From all the news, the stories I've seen in the past 48 hours, I don't trust that man. This one that he gave her the money like that, hey, make it not go pa the girl and her husband, because that guy is funny. That guy is terrible. He's narcissistic. There was one video that I saw where he attended the BET award or something and collecting an award, and then he was mentioning Cassie, and I was like, is this man okay? Is he crazy? Why would you be mentioning somebody that has been married for years, has 2 kids? Because he mentioned it last year, 2022. I was like, this guy is such a narcissistic person, and people were clapping. I did not find it funny. I was like, why are you mentioning a married woman's name? For what? Person that has run away from you, has said she doesn't want to have anything to do with you. Person that you maltreated for over a decade. Are you okay? Why are you mentioning her name? No wonder Cassie's husband used to like shade him, probably because he was their trainer and he probably knows what was going on when Cassie was with him. That's why he used to like slightly shade him, and like just be subtly shading him and everything. Now I understand what was going on. Then another thing that pissed me off, like I was so mad, was the statement made by Diddy's lawyer. And I was saying, just to make it clear, it's not like Diddy did it. It's not like Mr. Combs did it. It's just that we wanted to settle it and blah, blah, blah. Like, are you all right? Who sent you a message? Why are you telling us? It is obvious now that it's more than obvious. Only a guilty person will say that thing. Because if he didn't do such, Diddy is Diddy. His reputation has taken a bad hit. He would have countersued Cassie, and even if she doesn't have the money, he would have still tried to clear his name, like how Johnny Depp tried to clear his name with the whole Amber Heard, whatever, the head or whatever her name is, issue. So I was like, what sort of statement is it? Like, these people are very stupid. They are trying to control the narrative because the damage has been done. Any which way, that's what has been going on. She has settled, she has collected her money, and like I said, I am positive that girl got more than 30. If she did not get 50, I will knock her head. Collect the money from that man. It's not like as if he doesn't have the money. Very useless human being. Okay, I'm getting angry. Any which way, that's all for that case. I'm happy that she has collected her money. I'm happy that she said what happened to her. I'm sure that saying all those things might have been a bit triggering and hurtful for her, but it will also help her heal. I just pray that she and her husband will ride this nonsense ordeal and that they would last long. I pray that their marriage will be long. I pray that their marriage will be happy. I pray that their marriage will be blessed, because this is a lot of things for her to carry, for her husband to carry, because I know it can have an effect on the husband too. It can also have an effect on the kids. So I'm just praying that all of them will be all right. They will heal appropriately. Nothing spoil, nothing scatter. They would grow in love, and they will be a blessing to this generation and the generation after and the rest. So that's all for this video. So I would like to hear your thoughts. Do you think that Cassie settled too quick? Do you think that Diddy is guilty? Do you think that Cassie collected all the money plus extra? Do you think that she should have gone all the way and fully expose him so that he can land in jail? Even though it's not a criminal case, it's not a criminal suit, but maybe something she say will make the police say, okay, it's time for you to go to jail. Anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like videos such as this and you are not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.